So I'm going to make my first ever jam. I've never made jam before, so I'm going to start by using the plums off my sister's tree. So today is plum picking day, and look at all those beautiful plums. They just look like little jewels hanging there. So pretty. And it's all hands on deck today. This is Neil, my husband. He's helping pick the plums because he likes to eat the jam, so he's happy to help pick the plums. And I'm using the recipe that is from the YouTuber called Useful Knowledge. So I'm following his way of cooking this plum jam because it's really simple. It's just plums and sugar, no pectin needed. I'm just following how he does it, and it's so simple. So I'm hoping I can't go wrong. We'll see, because I've never made plum jam before. I've never made any jam before. So hopefully it's all going to work out. And there's Harry, just come along to join us. So we've got the cat, Harry, we've got the dog Milo, and we've got the chickens. We've got Neil, my husband, and my sister Yvonne. So look at them all, look, there's just so many plums. We are going to have a feast of jam, I think. So my sister is helping pick the plums, but she's eating more of them than she's putting in the bags. So I think she forgot that she was supposed to be helping pick the plums for jam. And she's not the only one, because Milo's eating the plums off the tree as well. He likes to eat them straight from the tree. And who can blame him? There's no better way than eating straight from the tree. So I've got 4 pounds of plums here. And to start off, all I'm going to do is to get these stones out. So just put that down there. Let's cut down the end and pop the stone out. I'm just going to work my way through this 4 pound of plums, which won't take long at all doing it like this. So that's my bowl of plums, all with the stones taken out. They look fabulous. I'm loving it. And this is my bowl of stones. Now I'm wondering whether to keep these to make pectin out of. Maybe add it to some other stuff, some peelings or pips out of apples or all that sort of stuff. So with me not being experienced, I'm not really sure. If you can use these, just leave me a little message in the comments and let me know what you do with the pips. Do you just chuck them? Seems a bit of a waste. So I'll be interested to know if there's anything I can do with these rather than just chuck them away. So what I'm going to do now is just going to cut these up a little bit, just roughly, just make them a little bit smaller. So what I'm going to actually do is just tip them out onto my chopping board. I'm giving them a bit of a rough cut, I'm not making them too small. So that's my plums all roughly chopped. Now the next step is to put them into a measuring jug and measure them by volume, so I know how much sugar to put in. So I'm going to see how many pints I've got of this. So I'm just going to put these in the jug and measure them by volume. That's a pint, roughly. Everything is roughly with me. Two pints. Three pints. At 3.5 pints, roughly. So we've got 3.5 pints of plums. So I'm going to use half that amount in volume of sugar. So that'll be 1 3/4. All right, yeah, 1 3/4 pints of sugar. And all I'm using is just granulated sugar because it's what I've got. So 1 pint. And 3/4 of a pint. Half a pint, that's there. Okay. So, about there. 1 3/4 of a pint of sugar. Give it a good stir. So apparently this sugar is going to draw all the juices, well, not all the juices I guess, but it's going to draw the juices out of the plums. So we're going to set this aside, cover it with a plate or whatever. I've got a frying pan lid that fits over the top of this dish. So we're going to give it a good stir, and then we're going to set it aside for about an hour, or probably at least an hour, I would say. Some people leave it overnight, but we'll see how it goes. So give it a good old mix. I'm enjoying doing this, it's quite good fun. I think I might get addicted to making jam. Oh, that's if this actually works. If this doesn't work, I might not get addicted to it. I'll just try a different one. I'll try again if this doesn't work, but I'm quietly confident that this is going to work. So, we'll cover that with our lid or a plate or whatever you've got. So I'll come back to that in about an hour and have a look, see if it's drawing out all those juices, and we'll move on to the next step. Oh, it's exciting. So I've actually left these for 2 hours, and look at all those lovely juices. Oh, that just looks beautiful. So far, so good. Now, I've got everything ready. Well, I hope I have. I hope I've got everything that I need. I've got my towel ready to put my jars and everything on to do all that, the filling of the jars and all that prep. I've got my stew pot, my jam pot ready. Now, I've got to use a camping stove, a portable gas stove, because I've got an induction cooker. So this pot won't work on that. I've got my pan of water ready to put my lids in when the time comes, and I've got my jars ready in the oven. The oven's not switched on yet, and I think I've got everything ready. So I've got the plums and the sugar mixture in my pan, and I've got my heat setting on low to medium. So according to the Useful Knowledges website, cook it for 15 minutes, bring it up to a boiling point. But so far, so good. So that's been on the stove for 20 minutes now, and it's just coming up to boiling. So it's looking good, but that took about 20 minutes. And there's no pectin in this at all. It's just sugar and plums, which I just find amazing. But that's just coming up to boiling now, so that's looking good. So it's proper boiling now. I'm going to give that another 20 minutes, and I'm also going to turn the oven on for the jars. So you don't need to keep stirring it constantly, but stir it every minute or so apparently. But looking good. So I've switched my pan of water on, and now I'm just going to pop these lids in there. The jam is looking good, and I've got 2 plates in the freezer ready to test the jam to see if it's set. So I think I'm all set. I think I've got everything ready. Still boiling away nicely, all looking good. But there was one thing that I've just remembered I hadn't got ready, and that was my ladles. So I've just got ready my ladles in there. I think what I'm going to do for next time is write a list of everything that I need, because I just completely forgot about those. Fortunately, I remembered in time. So they're already all cleaned, ready to go. And we're nearly got about 5 minutes left of the 20 minutes boiling time. So we're close to being able to test it for the first time. So I'm going to get some of this jam on the plate, the cold plate that's come out of the freezer. Put it on there like that. And then test it to see if it's likely to set. I don't think it's quite there. Oh, it tastes good. Not quite there. Still a little bit runny. So when you do that, it wrinkles it a little bit. You get little wrinkles in it where it's starting to set. And this gap doesn't close up so quick like that. So looking good. Now you can take, see that's starting to set. You can take some butter. You can either scrape that froth off, or you can take a tablespoon of butter and put that in, and that apparently gets rid of the froth. So we're going to stir that in. And then we're going to let that melt and then give it another test, because I think we're about there. See how that gets rid of that froth? It's a neat little trick, isn't it? Right, I'm going to give it another test. So I've put a bit of jam on this plate. The plate was in the freezer, so it's nice and cold. Oh, look at that. I think that's there. You can see, I don't know if you can see, it's starting to wrinkle a little bit. I think we might be about there, you know. Ooh, I think we're ready. Right, I've turned the heat off. It's looking lovely. It's gorgeous colour. Oh, that looks so good. It smells beautiful. So, next thing is to jar it up. So, our next step is to get the jam in the jars. So I'm getting 2 jars out at a time. So the funnel I've got came in that lot of the second-hand stuff that I bought. It's too small for the jars. So I'm going to do it carefully. And I'm going to hot jam into hot jars. So I'm going to try and be very careful. And not spill it all over. Which I've just done, but never mind. A little bit more. I'm going to have to do some serious wiping of these jars. Oh, see, that's too much in there. That takes them out. So I'll fill this one. Not so full this time. And then what I'll do, put that in there, and I'll get my little ladle and try and get some of that out of there and put into this one. This always weighs round things. There. So that's those 2. I think they look about the right height. Now you've got to clean the tops carefully because the jars are very, very hot. So I'm going to get my tea towel, hold that, and give these a good wipe. Get my little magnetic doodah thingy and get one of the lids out. And now the guy on Useful Knowledge does dry his lids, so I've got a clean paper towel. I'll just give that a dry and get that straight on there. Tight. Move that one out of the way. This one is quite mucky because I spilt that jam down it. So clean the top. I'm going to have to get a different funnel, aren't I? Okay, next lid. It's quite good fun actually, this is. I am actually really enjoying this. Whether it turns out or not is a different matter, but I am enjoying doing it. Lid on there. Tight, because these are not being water bathed. So, next jar, out the oven, my little tongs. Get my, I don't know if it's worth using that funnel, it's a bit big. I think I might be better off without it, you know. What do you think? Is it worth a go? I'm going to use my little ladle. My little ladle. Might get on better with that. And move the pan a bit closer. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a new funnel. I might get a whole new set actually. I mean, if it works, but that's just too big for these jars. So maybe I need 2 different size funnels, do I? I don't know. Is there different size ones? I guess there must be. Getting on better with just doing it straight with the ladle though. Take a bit of that out. Don't want it over full. I think that's about right. Move that a bit closer. So looks like I might just get 4 jars out of these. These are 9.5 fluid ounce jars, which is, I think it was 260 mils. Oh, I'll get 4 jars and a bit extra. So the bit extra is perfect for testing it with. On a bit of toast. Oops, might be a teeny bit full. It's all practice, isn't it? All practice. So, clean these. Clean the tops, properly clean them. I know I've got a lot of jam on that, haven't I? So, give them a really good clean. Get a lid on that one. Oh, let me get a clean piece of kitchen roll to dry this lid off. Supposed to get these done quick, get the lid on as quickly as you can. I'm not very quick. So, tight. can clean the edges outside of the jars afterwards. So let's clean that one. So I'm going to try this one with a bit of vinegar, just to make sure. And if the other ones don't seal and this one does, we know it's because I didn't clean it with vinegar. But useful knowledge on his videos, he doesn't use vinegar, he just wipes them with a paper towel, so hopefully we're going to be all right. Get a lid and dry it off. Get the lid on. Tighten it up. Tight. Make sure these are tight. There, they're all tight. Now, what he does next is he flips them over. So, straight upside down for 5 minutes. That's that. So that's 5 minutes they've been up that way. So I'm going to turn them over and hope for the best. I'll clean the jars when they're all when they're dry. I'll do that tomorrow. But they're very sticky. So 4 jars and then 2 of these little ramekin pots. 1 full one and 1 half full. So that's not too hot. So these 2 will be used. They're not going to be saved. So I'm not worried about not having the lids on. I will sort that. They will be put in the fridge when they're cold, and we'll use those up. Give them a little taste test. So that's our 4 jars done, and I guess that's about 4.5 jars. So I will come back and show you tomorrow when they're all done. It's all cold and lovely. So there are my jars of jam. I went on to make some more. These 4 jars was what I made with the 4 pounds of jam of plums, and then I made 4 of these 8-ounce jars, and I actually made 4 of these 1 pound size jars, but my sisters came over, 2 of my sisters came over, so they've already took 2 jars of jam, so they didn't last long. But look how gorgeous this jam is. It's just perfect. I'm so happy with it, and I'm now addicted to making jam. So I've got some damsons in the freezer and I've got some sloes, so if anybody's got any good recipes of what I can make with sloes and damsons, please let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to find some new recipes so I can start making all my jams, pickles and preserves. So if you want to watch how I get on with my new hobby of making jams, pickles and preserves, along with my gardening, my new garden that I'm starting up, do click the subscribe button and click the little bell notification so you get notified when I bring out new videos, and see if anything else I make is a success like this. Because I'll be making loads more. So hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.